Hey guys, I'm Yogini. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to embrace imperfection. So I'm sure, just like me, many of your parents have stressed the idea of being perfect, whether it's being a great kid with good manners or having the best grades in the world, being super involved in school, and being at the top of your class. Whatever it is, the idea of perfection has been ingrained. And honestly, I started to get sick of it at the end of high school. So I decided that it was best for me to just be myself and acknowledge that I have flaws and I have imperfections and I will never live up to the standards of my parents. And so I'll just be myself, you know? So yeah, I'm here to talk about that with you guys. And to start off, let's talk about why this idea of perfection is so prevalent in society. So honestly, I kind of describe being perfect as like being on a hamster wheel. You're always like chasing perfection, one good thing to the next. And it's it's honestly just really exhausting. Like it's like, when is it going to end, right? Like, when am I ever gonna like think that something is good enough? Or when am I gonna think that I am good enough instead of just chasing the idea of being perfect, the idea of being successful? And so that is in part due to one, like parents and like what manners that they've instilled in you. And honestly, like society is like that too, especially if you look on social media. Oh my gosh, there's so many Instagram models with like the perfect life, the perfect routine, the perfect body, and like you're just scrolling on social media and you like look at them and look at their lives and you kind of feel bad that you don't have that perfect life that they do. And it's just, it kind of aggravates me, honestly. That's why at one point I'm just like, I don't really like going on Instagram that much because it's really just like a collection of all the good moments on somebody's Instagram feed, whereas it's not like realistic. And honestly, it's just kind of exhausting looking at that too. So yeah, society really ingrains perfection in that way as well. And even like teachers, if you're a good kid, you know, you get good grades, or like if you're even 1 minute late to class, it's a tardy. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, yeah, I think that is really annoying, but I guess it teaches you how to behave well in the working world and like arrive on time and stuff. So that understandable, but the idea of just being perfect is just aggravating. Yeah, and that kind of just like plays with your self-esteem. Because if like you do one thing wrong, it's like you spiral or like you question your worthiness. Like, oh my gosh, I messed up and I messed up so badly. Like, how could I do that to myself? Like, I'm supposed to be this perfect kid and now I totally messed it up and I don't feel like I'm worthy of being called like this like good kid and like being at the top or whatever, you know, whatever it is that you feel that you're not worthy of. All the societal pressures we face and the pressure from our parents, really, like if you don't embrace perfection, it's like you question your worthiness and you kind of internalize it. So that's another thing that comes out of like this pressure to be perfect. You start to question yourself if you mess something up or like if you even go like slightly off the path. And so, yeah, it's because another thing is that we think that perfection is not is perfection equates to being loved and like being worthy, and it's like really not the case, because this I like perfection is just an idea. At the end of the day, it's like whatever you view to be perfect is what is. Okay, it's not like there's like a strict definition for, okay, this is perfect. It's societally defined anyways, right? So why should you let that impact your worthiness? And so, damn, I wish I had that advice when I was growing up, because that I could have used that. To give you a little bit of background, I have an older sister, she and I are like 1 year apart, and so she is like the perfect child, okay? She was at the top of her class, good grades, everything, and like she's my best friend. But honestly, I've always felt the pressure of being perfect like her, like, do everything that our parents say and get good grades, work super hard to get into like a good college, have a successful life and stuff. And yeah, I did that. I was like up there with her, but like, did I really care at the end of the day? No, I didn't care about all the things that she cared about. Like, I knew I wasn't perfect. And so we went to separate colleges afterwards, and it's like I went down a different path because I, you know, wanted to just be myself. I wanted to enjoy the college experience. I mean, I still have a really good job and stuff, but I didn't like strive to be the top of the class in college because that's just not me. It's like, I'd rather take it slow because the point of college is to like network and get a good job anyways, right? So yeah, at the end of the day, no matter how hard you try to be perfect, you're gonna come back to yourself and you're gonna realize that, it's good enough to be just you. You don't have to chase anything. Well, so how do we stray away from this idea of perfection and embrace the imperfection? Well, I think one of the biggest things that we need to redefine is our inner sense of self-worth. And so that really comes from like, what is perfection to you? Like, how are you going to show up for yourself rather than be defined by whatever expectations that your friends, your parents, just the society you live in is going to help you define, right? And so really you need to redefine your inner critic. Just sit down and be like, what is important to me? What do I care most about? Rather than like the other things. So let's say you're trying to build your social media presence, or you want to revamp your Instagram page, okay? And until this point, you had it so that like your life looked perfect. It was all about traveling, all the happy moments. But now you just want to post things that are important to you and your life and what you care about. So you can sit down and think of it like that. You're revamping like your whole perspective, your inner critic. So that's one of the things. Ultimately, what I'm trying to say is embrace compassion for yourself. Okay, you are good enough. You are perfect the way you are, and you just need to show up for yourself. Okay, if you think that you are the most authentic version of yourself, then that is enough. Okay, you don't need to succumb to society's pressures of being perfect in the way that is defined by societal norms, because honestly, without a world of different personalities and different types of people, it would be a boring world to live in, okay? Like, imagine there's just one type of person in the world. That's kind of, it's like boring. It's like wearing a uniform to school. There's no personality that shows, right? But when you take out the uniforms and you let people dress however the way they want to, then all these like, you see all these different types of people, there's creativity, there's innovation, and that's frankly how the world should work, okay? So if you are getting caught up in social media or in expectations of others, just remember that part. The world would be a boring place if everybody was the same. And I honestly would not want to live in that world where everybody's just, has the same mindset, has the same personality, has the same opinions, has the same perspectives. Like, what's the fun in that? All I'm trying to say is you should try and embrace imperfection and not let society get to you with their expectations and with their flawed perspectives and thinking. And so you should take some things that I've said and make it into action items. So first, you can redefine your inner critic, and that is to just like think about like how you view yourself, and what you do when you think you've messed up or when you don't think that you're perfect. So that's that. Second, why don't you like just list all your like 3 or 4 of your imperfections and see them as strengths. Like, how are those imperfections helping you really? So for me, I am stubborn. Okay, I don't know how I get that. Maybe it was through this whole idea of like being perfect, and so I'm stubborn and I have to get something like completely or almost right, and then I'll be satisfied. And so, honestly, it's sometimes a really good thing because it helps me with work. It's like, no, I have higher standards for myself, and what I can put out, like, with my work. And so, I am very ambitious at work and I get praised and I like it. And I like that that stubbornness that I have is pushing me to be a better version of myself. So even though being stubborn can be less helpful, like when you're in an argument or doing something that is negative, it can help you in other ways. And so you gotta just think about your imperfections like that. Like, how are they helping you instead of hindering you, you know? So I thought that was a really good way to put it. And then lastly, just like embrace the idea that you are good enough. You are only human, and we as humans are very flawed and very imperfect, obviously, as there are a lot of problems in the world. Anyways, to end this video, I'd like to ask you guys to comment below on an imperfection that you guys think you have and an action that you will be taking this week or that you've already taken to see how it is a strength instead of an imperfection, really. And then I'm looking forward to seeing that in the comment section. And if you resonated with this video, please give me a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos every week. Thank you. Bye.